It's my algorithm. If you don't know, now you know. Today we will be reacting to a lost tribe of Israelites. Let's go.
To build up a bridge between Israeli people, I would say, not the establishment yet, and this unique community. Because as I always keep saying to you, each of these communities are part of our general Jewish history. And we need to find a place and the correct definitions and opportunities to be more inclusive and not only and not keep thinking that there is one way to be a Jew and all should follow. They were there before us.
I'll be honest, I came into this village and the first word I heard was shalom,
yes.
A Hebrew word.
Yes.
How is that possible? How is it that the Lemba are speaking Hebrew?
The Lembas are the original Hebrews, and they were scattered, as you know, and they crossed into Africa. So they were scattered all over. So in South Africa, in many parts of South Africa, you find the Lembas who are actually Hebrews.
Hebrews. So the Lembas claim to be descendants of ancient Israelites?
Not claim, they are.
They are?
They are.
Okay.
We are the original African Hebrew. We are scattered all over.
And so when you see the Lemba all the way down to the bottom of Africa, tracing their roots to the Yemenite Jewish community, building in the same structures and having certain, traditions that are the same, and like no one else in South Africa, it shows you the far-reaching scale of these Israelite customs and traditions. And not to mention, obviously, we speak about the genetic Cohen phenomenon amongst the Lemba people, that a large percentage of them have a genetic marker to be from the Kohanim, from the priests of Israel.
When the wider Jewish community finally learned of the Lemba's existence, many were skeptical. Some demanded proof of the Lemba's Jewishness. Others romanticized them as a lost tribe. Lemba pushed back against this label. How can they be lost when their ancient oral history situates them among all other Jews? The word lost implies that they've let go of their Judaism. But they've been practicing Judaism all along. And if anyone doubts their origins, well, they've got the genetic receipts. Relying on DNA tests is a tricky business. Our genes are far from the only thing that makes us Jewish. But it's pretty cool to see ancient narratives match up with DNA evidence. The same ancient story spelled out in genetic code.
So because of my office also in the parliament, they also approached me, the government of Israel, said, can you help us to collect some samples of DNA? We want to do our own tests because we are hearing about your claim that you are Jews, but we want to do our own test on you. So I told them that it's not easy to go and tell someone that I want to collect your blood. It's not easy. So no, we don't take blood. We take saliva. So say, oh, that's okay. So they sent me a kit from Tel Aviv. Then I collected some saliva, DNA samples. It was about 200 from the Lemba and about 60 from non-Lembas. And I sent it to Israel. So a year later, I went there to Israel to collect the results. And I met a guy at a hotel called Ramat Rashe Hotel in Jerusalem. So he gave me the results. So he said, we were sitting in the lounge. He said, do you see that? Because in Israel, there's a lot of black people, black boys doing the manual work. They sweep the roads, they run around, they sweeping, cleaning the hotels and all that. So there was one black boy, I think he's from Sudan or Ethiopia. He said, look at, you see that boy? I said, yes. He said, his gene percentage is about 26%. So he said, but with us here, if you look at me, I'm a Jew, but my percentage is 1.5%. That's my DNA percentage. But with those samples we sent to us, they know that the Lemba percentage is 70%. 70%. Not only that you are Jews, but that your blood is only found in the Levites. Not only in the Levites, but in the Kohanim, in the priests of Israel. So that's what he told me. Then I thought maybe he was going to give us an official written, something written that this is our findings. But up to today, they haven't given me the results.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient Israel, that's who we are. I'm telling you, that's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time,
But
all that he said,
no, we don't have.
there are so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of
Yes.
notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites or you want to be Jews?
You can convert to Judaism. You can't convert to a blood family. You cannot convert to a race. Judaism is a religion. That's all it is. The religion created the Jewish people. The definition of a Jewish person is somebody who is transformed by receiving the Torah.
Thank you. I'll answer that question.
Go ahead.
I will help you. After the demise of Solomon, we now have the northern and southern kingdom of Israel.
Yes.
So when we talk about Jews, Jews are Israelites, but all Israelites are not Jews. The 10 tribes that got lost are not Jews. They were Israelites.
Well, it's depending.
Minority cannot swallow the majority. We are here. We are the majority down here. So you are minority, and we are older than you.
Tell us more about your work and the coursework that you're doing, because you are a real advocate for this topic and why it's so important in the times we're living in.
I appreciate it. I think the most important thing is like the if so, so what? So we've established that there are these individuals over here, but the next question is what do we do about it? Is everyone's supposed to convert and come back to Israel? But if we think that way, there's really 100 million people around the world that have this Israelite identity coming from the tribes, and Israel's, smaller than the size of New Jersey. Is it sustainable to think in the way of having to convert and bring back? And if you look at the Lemba, they don't even want to convert. They said, why are we converting to something we're already part of?
The Lembas are the original Hebrews, and they were scattered, as you know, and they crossed into Africa. So they were scattered all over. So in South Africa, in many parts of South Africa, you find the Lembas who are actually Hebrews.
Hebrews. So the Lembas claim to be descendants of ancient Israelites?
Not claim, they are.
They are.
They are.
Okay.
We are the original African Hebrew. We are scattered all over.
Well, did you accept that black people? You accepted that black people are Jew, or
I'll come to that in a moment.
Brothers and sisters, blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews. You are the true Hebrews from the Bible.
So it's really important now to bring in the writings of our sages, because we have a consensus for about 3,000 years passed on that everyone agrees on what will happen in the future times when this great awakening happens. And from my perspective, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a religious phenomenon and a conversion and a mass immigration to Israel, but it's going to be some type of change that happens in the world when people unite.
Right.
When we realize.
So when we're talking about the Isaiahs and the whole ingathering that we've all these years taken quite literally, it kind of, in the bigger picture, it is part of that process, even in the identifying and recognizing and feeling
Correct.
a kinship to the Jewish customs.
Ingathering is a great question, because there is an ingathering, and we're obviously experiencing it now, being in Jerusalem, having this, being in Israel. I live in Jerusalem, having this conversation. But there's a 2,000-year-old argument from the sages of Israel, the Mishnah. Do they return or do they not return? And Rabbi Akiva says they don't return to Israel, or they don't return, and Rabbi Eliezer says they do return. And anytime you see this type of argument, it's really never an argument. We just have to have context for what each one's talking about. So we believe, according to the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, who says they don't return, he means to say geographically. According to the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, who says they do return, he means to the consciousness and to the community, and we do unite and lock arms in the future. So there's no contradiction over here. So now we have a huge opportunity to make something out of 100 million people minimally who want to be part of this world peace phenomenon that we've been praying for thousands of years.
So how do we also help educate people that are also looking to connect, but there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky.
This story begins in October 1949, 1 year after Israel's formation. This is when Netanyahu was born, the second child of a historian. His paternal grandfather was a rabbi and a Zionist writer. His name was Nathan Milikowski. Later in life, he Hebraized his surname from Milikowski to Netanyahu, a name which means God has given.
This is Yair Netanyahu's DNA test that has been leaked. You can see right there, his Y DNA is RM198. Descendants of RM198 come from Poland, Russia, Germany, and other European countries. Does this look Semitic to you? Does this look Middle Eastern?
Maybe you will ask, who is Mr. Milikowski? I did ask and you told me, but I didn't know before. He is Benjamin Netanyahu. This is the real name. Prime Minister or President of Israel. The colonial settler state of Israel.
But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my DNA. Now, I bet you thought it was going to be a lot crazier than that, right? Now, you might ask yourself, why is it illegal to obtain this in the state of Israel? Because it proves through your DNA that Jews around the world have no ancestral ties to the land of Israel. But according to Israeli law, the fact that I have Jewish blood gives me more right to somebody's home and land in the land of Palestine than somebody that has been there for hundreds of years. Doesn't make sense.
This TikTok caused a storm online, with many debating what his results, which show no trace of being from Palestine or the Middle East, despite being Jewish, mean. DNA testing to prove Jewish ancestry is a hot-button political issue in Israel. For example, Israel's chief rabbinate has pushed for the ancestral DNA tests to be allowed to prove Jewishness in certain cases. In particular, many Jews have emigrated to Israel from the Soviet Union, who may not have had the necessary paperwork that shows they are Jewish, have sought to get genetic tests done to show they are Jews. In 2019, a political scandal erupted when it appeared Russian Jews were secretly submitting DNA tests to the rabbinate in order to obtain the right to move to Israel.
And we do have DNA tests, which by the way are banned in Israel. You're not allowed to get DNA tests in Israel.
But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
Which is a kind of strange thing, because it kind of seems like if that's your whole claim, then wouldn't you be the ones who want to demonstrate this?
But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
Who the hell are you anyway, right? I mean, anyway, I don't care where they came from. I don't care about religion. I don't care about any of the gobbledygook, right? But a bunch of Aryan-looking people that comes from Eastern Europe and pretends that God gave them the land 2,000, 3,000 years ago, right? And oh no, we're the real Jews.
And there is this incredibly bizarre thing, and you can have the last comment on this, Rob, but I'll notice that it's just something I've noticed over the last couple years as I've been a figure in these, debates, where there's this because people like Douglas Murray was like, oh, Dave, claims some Jewish heritage, and then there'll be arguments over whether you're really Jewish or not. And then somebody else, I get the comments like this all the time, but they'll say things like, oh, Dave's not even a practicing Jew, so he's not a Jew by any real means. What does that even mean? And you're like, oh, okay, so that's the standard now? Now the standard is if you're not, it's not the genetic argument anymore. Now it's the religious argument.
But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the other end of the extremes.
Without getting too semantic,
or at the risk of getting too semantic, does it matter that the Jews are not Semites, or does this phrase anti-Semitism just means hatred for the Jewish people? They're Ashkenazi, they're Eastern European Jews.
They also can't define what a Jew is. Let me just go ahead and read some of this to you. It says, this act may be cited as the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act of 2023. It is the sense of Congress that Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. While such title does not cover discrimination based solely on religion, individuals who face discrimination based on actual or perceived shared ancestry or ethnic characteristics do not lose protection under such title for being members of a group that share a common religion. So they admit right there that while the such title does not cover discrimination based solely on religion, which is what being Jewish is a religion. That's what it is.
But there's comments like, well, you guys are imposters, you're not the real Jewish people, and then you're kind of getting people on the...
Okay, that's it for today. You hear people, they say being Jewish is not about being person, it's about your religion. I'll make a number 2 of this video. That's it. Good night, people.